He was a billionaire drowning, until a mysterious hand shattered the glass and pulled him back to life. No one believed him when he said it was a girl, a homeless child, barely 13. But what if the one who saved him was someone the world had completely ignored? And what if she vanished before he could even say thank you? Listen until the end of today's story to find out how a homeless child saves a wealthy billionaire, and how fate reunites them and reveals a shocking secret that connects them both. Please let us know which country you're listening from today, and please also subscribe to our channel. Chicago was wrapped in thick gray clouds. The streets glistened with the first drops of a coming storm, and the city, bustling and alive, seemed to pause in anticipation. Michael Langston, a billionaire executive of Langston Holdings, drove his sleek black sedan across the Blue Island Bridge, his mind consumed with crumbling deals and fading alliances. As thunder cracked overhead, Michael pressed harder on the gas, anxious to escape the storm and the thoughts racing in his head. But one wrong turn, one missed puddle, and everything unraveled faster than he could react. The tires lost their grip as the slick surface betrayed him. His hands jerked the steering wheel, but it was too late. The car spun violently, skidding sideways across the drenched bridge. Metal groaned as the vehicle smashed through the aging guardrail, its frame bending with a horrific crunch. For a brief, suspended second, Michael saw the city skyline tilt. Then, the car nosedived. Gravity seized him like a predator. Below, the Calumet River surged, cold, black, and unwelcoming. In that instant, time stretched, and Michael felt the terrifying realization he was no longer in control. The river below didn't just wait. It opened its jaws to swallow him whole. Underwater, silence roared. Michael fought the seatbelt that wouldn't release. Water surged through the cracks of the windshield. He screamed, pounded the window, but no one could hear. The river was relentless. The more he struggled, the faster time slipped away. He thought of his daughter, of the mistakes he hadn't fixed, of all the things he never said. As consciousness slipped from him, a shadow appeared outside the window. Then, crack. A rock slammed into the glass. Again. The final blow shattered the window, and icy water exploded in. A small hand reached in through the shattered glass. Michael felt it before he saw it, a sudden pressure on his arm, desperate fingers clutching the fabric of his jacket with surprising strength. He tried to lift his other hand, but the cold had numbed his limbs. The hand didn't let go, tugging, yanking, urging him to move. He resisted, not by choice, but from exhaustion. His body was heavy, sinking, but the hand pulled again, harder this time, and somehow, miraculously, he moved. The rain still poured, drenching him anew, and as he coughed violently, he saw her. A figure hunched in the mud just feet away. A girl, thin, wiry, soaked through to the skin. No older than 13, maybe younger. Her hair clung to her cheeks in wet ropes, and her clothes were ripped and stained. Mud streaked her face. Her eyes, fierce, hollow, unblinking, met his for a fleeting second. She didn't speak, didn't wait. She simply turned, fading into the downpour like a ghost. One heartbeat she was there. The next she was gone, leaving only the imprint of her defiance and the life she'd just saved. At the hospital, no one believed him. Firefighters claimed they pulled him out. But Michael knew what he saw. The girl was real. A child saved his life. And she was gone. His sister, Charlotte Langston, powerful and cold, called it trauma. The media painted it as a miracle, then a lie. But Michael wouldn't let it go. He began a search, desperate to find the girl who vanished without a name. He searched shelters, alleys, train stations. A boy at a gas station finally whispered her street name, Rat. Michael followed every lead. Then he found a scrap of red fabric near an abandoned park, the same hoodie she wore. Then, a breakthrough. A social worker, Karen Holloway, called. A girl matching the description had been admitted to St. Bridget's Youth Center. Sick, dehydrated, silent. She was there. Ava Brooks, the ghost from the river. But now, in oversized clothes and tired eyes, she looked even smaller. "You saved me," Michael said, his voice quiet but full of emotion. He studied her face, trying to reconcile this quiet, wiry girl with the force of nature who had shattered a window and pulled him from the brink of death. "You didn't just pull me out of that river. You brought me back." "Didn't think you'd make it," she replied, a faint shrug lifting one shoulder. Her voice was raspy, worn beyond her years. "People like me don't get to be heroes. We disappear. We run. We survive, but we don't get remembered." Michael was silent for a long moment. Then he took a deep breath, his words deliberate. "I remember you. I'll never forget. And I'm not here to make you a story. I'm here to give you a place. He offered her a safe place. No questions, no obligations, just a home. Somewhere warm where she could rest without looking over her shoulder. A place that could belong to her, if she wanted it. Ava agreed to come. For a few days they lived quietly. She painted her room, started school, laughed, but the system struck back. Social services, acting swiftly under legal authority, arrived early in the morning with a signed court order. Without so much as a knock of warning, they stepped through the front door with unreadable expressions and clipped tones. Ava was just finishing her cereal when they called her name. Confused, she looked at Michael, her eyes wide with the kind of fear that spoke of past trauma. Before either of them could ask questions, she was told to pack her things, quietly, quickly, and without protest. Michael demanded answers, called his lawyer, tried to delay the inevitable, but the papers were airtight. His influence, his fortune, and even his home's warmth couldn't stop the cold machinery of bureaucracy. In the eyes of the system, Ava was still a ward of the state, and now she was gone again, swept up by a process that didn't pause for human connection, regardless of how deep it ran. Michael couldn't sleep. He planned. At nightfall, he infiltrated the shelter through a delivery entrance, found her room, knocked. She opened the door, bag in hand. I knew you'd come. Together, they escaped. Back in the safety of the small home he prepared, Michael built a legal case. With Karen Holloway and an honest journalist named Erica Mendoza, he prepared for a hearing to gain custody. Court was brutal. His sister Charlotte testified against him, but Michael told the story of the rain, the hand, the rescue. Then came the twist. An elderly family friend, once close to Michael's late father, stepped forward during the hearing. He spoke with trembling hands and a solemn voice, revealing a truth that stunned the courtroom. Years ago, he had seen Ava's mother shortly before the tragic accident that took her life. What he hadn't shared until now was the identity of the man who had fathered her child. According to medical documents and a birth certificate he had kept hidden out of fear of stirring old family wounds, Ava's father had been Michael's own late cousin, a man who had fallen out with the Langston family over a bitter inheritance dispute and disappeared from their lives. This revelation cracked open a long-buried secret. The family had unknowingly abandoned one of their own. Ava was family, not just by emotion or circumstance, but by blood, history, and name. The courtroom froze. The judge, Marlene Whitaker, reviewed the documents in silence, her glasses perched on the edge of her nose as she flipped through page after page. Her expression shifted, first unreadable, then softened by understanding. She looked up, studying both Michael and Ava, and then her gavel struck once, firm and final. Custody granted, she declared. Ava Brooks will remain in the care of Mr. Michael Langston. A hush spread across the room before a ripple of emotion moved through those present. Michael exhaled, shoulders finally relaxing after weeks of tension. Tears welled in Ava's eyes, not of sadness but disbelief. Her hands trembled slightly as she turned to Michael. Ava whispered, I'm not invisible anymore. People see me now. He leaned closer, voice low and steady. You never were. We just didn't know how to see you before, but I do now. And I always will. Weeks passed. Ava painted her room in wild colors. She started journaling, attended school, grew. One afternoon, they visited the riverbank. She laid down her old blanket and let the wind carry away the last pieces of her past. Their new life began, not perfect, not easy, but real. Because one girl refused to let someone drown, and one man refused to let her disappear. After listening to today's story, what would you have done in Michael's place? With so much power, would you have moved on and forgotten about the homeless girl who saved your life, or would you have also searched for her to thank her? Please share your honest thoughts and opinions in the comments below.